And yes, I think we live. I think everything is going well. I hope everybody out there is doing well yourself. For those of you who are new to the channel, usually we spend about a half an hour talking about a particular topic before we jump into some Street Fighter online matches, as I'm training to become a dominant Street Fighter force. But that's not going to happen today because I got family in town. I got family in town, and we probably about to do something. So I only have but a limited amount of time, but I wanted to definitely touch on this topic, as I'm sure most of you have seen, but if not, the petty beef seems to be on. Where we've been waiting for a long time for a Kanye West album, because he keeps saying that he's going to release it and never releases it. And he keep doing party after party, listening party after listening party, and never releasing the project. But the longer it's going, the more we're realizing why it's not happening. And he understands that Drake is coming for his neck. He understands that whatever it is he does, most likely Drake has been waiting on this moment to release his project right next to his. And that is what it is. Honestly, I feel as though there being some children about this. Now, I mean, let's not deny the reality of it. These individuals have worked hard to be who they are, to get to where they are right now. They deserve every right to release the artistic material the way that they want to release it. If they find any kind of advantage strategically or with marketing or anything by the way that they're doing it, then that's even better for them. Like, I think Kanye doing these listening parties in these arenas and doing them all the time, I think it's been helping more than it's been hurting, even as we all know that he's not going to release his stuff every time he does this. He's like hyping it up. It seems like he's baiting. What up, Ben? What's good? And Ben says, yep, we called it, brother. Kanye and Drake trying to play petty mean girl games with each other like lovers. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Like, real talk, man. What's the advantage? What advantage do you actually get by being the first one, by being the one to release your project right next to another's? Like, what strategic purpose does this do? Like, eventually the music's going to come out, right? Y'all competing with each other for whatever drop dates. What exactly positive does that happen? Like, where does that help you, Kanye? To keep postponing your album week after week after week because, one, you didn't put in enough work for it to become good in the first place. Two, you're trying to bait Drake in order to have some kind of advantage when it comes to diss tracks. But we all know when the albums drop, there's going to be diss tracks to happen like right after it anyway, if one of them felt as though they got ate up. It is what it is. There's no strategic advantage. It would be much smarter for them as individuals to, okay, I'm just going to control and dominate what I can control. I'm going to put out my project and try to get the maximum streams and all that. And when Kanye come for me or when Drake come for me, I'm going to have the side diss track on deck. I'm going to be ready for when it happens. I'm going to be able to hit people right back immediately. So therefore, there's nothing that can be done and I'm going to make my money. But instead, it's devolved into something a lot more petty, something a lot more ridiculous. And this is all, like, I'm not saying that they're both not petty because Drake is super petty, but the kind of petty that we're seeing here is retarded petty. Because did you guys see that today Kanye West released Drake's home address on social media? Like, he can get sued for that. I would sue him for that. But I mean, it's not even necessarily needing to sue him. Like, I would come to his crib because I understand they live close to each other. I would pop up at the crib whenever he does show up at the crib, and I would see him. I would see him for that. But yet, now that you've released Drake's address, everyone knows where you live. Like, how? This is self-destructive. Now, a lot of people like, yeah, you know, Drake, he ain't built like that. He ain't just gonna pull up on somebody like that. But never discredit someone with money, because it doesn't have to be Drake who pulls up to your crib. It doesn't cost a lot for an individual to put something on your head. And when you got somebody like Drake who has money, like a lot of people thought that, you know, Puff, shiny suit man, the guy that's dancing in all the videos, you can just write him off on anything gangster. But no, it was Puff. I'm not gonna say anything specific, but word on the streets is Puff can push a button on anybody because he got the money to do it. And it makes sense. And it's always the frail ones. It's always the people who's crazy. There's always the people who don't know what they're doing and things of that nature. Those are the people who do things without even thinking about what's going to come back to you. You don't play with somebody who got the money to do anything that they want to do in the world, because even if they are suckers, suckers still can push buttons. Suckers can still make things happen, as we seen with Puff. As Ben says, facts, Drake got them Canadians and Jay Prince ties. Facts. And I'm not going to sit here and act like Drake is some hard, tough guy or nothing like that. No, he's not. He's clearly not. He's clearly the certified lover boy. No gangster is going to put a heart in their hair and walk outside with that. That's all promotional. That's all like super lame dude type stuff. But you cannot take away someone who has the power to make moves because they have money. Just like how Kanye, you don't want to sleep someone crazy like this. What up, Diplomat? What's good? You don't want to sleep psychos who's going through mental issues like Kanye has done before. Like, he will self-destruct so that he can land a critical blow on you. It would be stupid, but that's what he'll do. And then you see he got individuals like Pusha T that's going to ride for him, who's going to do something super petty, that's going to do all of the research in order to try to sabotage you too. Like, you cannot sleep the fact that these individuals can do a lot of damage. But yet, we all know that they're chumps. Let's not deny this. They're going to go out through all of this when all they need to do is they know where each other live. You can just pull up at my crib, dog. You can just pull up at the crib. Why do y'all got to go through all of the extra, all of the arguments, all of the pettiness from point to point to point to point? Like, it's unnecessary. And it's somewhat weak because y'all just want to be petty. When all of this, if y'all was like standing on your manhood, it could be done in one day. As Diplomat says that it's all cap, it's all publicity, and that's facts. And to be real with you, this is going to lead to some of the most streams and album sales that we're going to see in quite some time. This may be like the peak of the year when they finally do get over themselves and release their projects. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, as I said on multiple videos and stuff, man, like, what can you gain by continually pushing this back, by continuously trying to add more music to your albums and stuff, trying to adapt and change things up. Like, you're not going to fix a bad album at this point in time. Either you just scrap it and start all over, or you release what you got at this point. Like, there's nothing that you can do to make things any better. Honestly, you can probably make things worse by doing what y'all doing musically, by just trying to throw in more songs last minute and all of this stuff. Like, ask Dr. Dre when he backed down from dropping Detox and did the Compton album, I think it was, and he sped through that, and because he sped through that, that album was trash. Like, how many people actually still listen to that Compton album that Dr. Dre sped through that? Even all of his people that was on the inside that worked on it said that they sped through it and it wasn't very good. Like, how many people still listen to that? Honestly, that's what we'll be looking at the more and more they try to rush and put more music to. Like, if your project is done, or if it's not done, quit saying that you're going to release it. Stop saying that there's going to be release dates, and just work on it to get it to where you need it to be, then put it out there while you're preparing for whatever disses that's coming your way from Drake, because we all know it's going to happen. You need to hold something off so when he does drop something, you'll have something to counteract. That's how you play this. But yet, they're just going about this like children and drawing it out and doing stupid things like okay, Kanye added Drake and Pusha T to a chat where he did if you see it in the artwork, they put the Joker clown in there, and he's saying, "Oh, I've been prepared for this my whole life, like goons / nerds like you." Well, he said jocks / nerds like you have been trying me all my life, and this is how you react to them. Like, I can see why people were saying that it wasn't a car accident that Kanye had when his first singles then came out. Like, people beat him up. That's this word on the streets. And it's because of things like this. This is how you react to controversy. This is how you react to the streets. This is how you react when people aren't feeling you. And we all know Kanye got a big mouth. We all know that Kanye is going through mental issues, quote unquote. But honestly, he's always come off as a chump backpacking dude that wants to be hard, but he's not. Like, y'all could easily just put this to rest and be like, yo, I'm just going to drop and I'm going to hold something back and I see you when I see you. Or we could just pull up at the crib, bro. Like, you know where I live. We can have a conversation, or I could knock you clean out, or I can get knocked out. Either way, it comes to an end. What did Pop say on Friday? You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. But the more y'all escalate and make this into something more than what it actually is, the better the chance that somebody's going to get hurt. Like, let's not deny the diehard fans, okay? I still get hate messages from both of these groups of fans, from Drake fans, from Kanye fans, for reviews that I did years ago on the projects. Like, these people take things well beyond what they actually need to be. Like, this is clearly something petty. This is honestly nothing. It comes off, as Diplomat said, it's all cap, it's all publicity. But people take this personally. Like, you guys have cultivated a brand of fan that pretty much stand your entire existence, that pretty much follow and love everything you do when it's clearly not classic material, when you're clearly being full of crap with releasing your projects, when you're clearly being full of crap on everything. But yet these people are pole jockeys to the highest regard to the point that they would think that they would do you a favor by pulling up to, say, Drake's house or something, bruh. And this is what you are allowing, Kanye, with the things that you were doing, because you're not man enough to step to a man. Now, Drake is being petty, in which he could pull up too. He could pull up and fight too, but he's not going to do that because it is like he's being a chump just like Drake is, just like Kanye's being a chump. But I can feel more for Drake though, because the last time Drake dropped an album, Kanye sabotaged it. Do you remember? Do you remember the, it wasn't Scorpion, was it? It might have been Scorpion. Whichever, the last album that Drake dropped, Kanye was postponing, like he was going through his surgical summer. He was pushing his stuff back until Drake dropped. And then right at that moment, that's when Kanye dropped in order to try to sabotage Drake. He's tried to sabotage him to the highest regard. And from this point, Drake is like, nah, you're not going to do that again. And honestly, you're going to get some of your own energy, which is cool. I mean, Drake hasn't made the mistake of saying when he's going to release his album. Kanye has. Kanye got everybody anticipating and waiting, and he's looking worse and worse by the day. They keep spending more and more money to do these album release parties. I think there's going to be another one. Eventually, people not going to show up to your album release parties, bro. You honestly blew the element of surprise. And now people are beginning to not believe you. But yet people going to believe Drake when he says that he's dropping, because he ain't got to say it. He's probably just going to drop. Like, you put all the pressure on yourself. So now you're going to have to hold the L, the first L that comes from this, if Drake has something of caliber to compete against you. And my thing is, he does. Because the difference between Drake and Kanye is that Drake actually will go out and get the ghostwriters and not do it himself and actually just curate his music. He'll actually push it to the lengths, like get better musicians to make the best music that he can possibly do. While Kanye still wants to have a stranglehold over the music that he's trying to release. And that's not a good look. That is definitely not a good look for you to have all of the resources necessary to make good music, but yet you don't take advantage of it because you think like your music is so much better because it's all coming from you, but you aren't that musician. That you're not a great musician, Kanye. Here's just the real top reality, whether people like don't like me for saying it. Kanye by himself is not a great musician. He's a great curator. He can put together, like he has great ideas for how he wants to make his music. He makes great ideas, great creative ideas that he can make more out of. But yet he needs the musician like, say, Timberland to come through and make Stronger into an actual single. Like if you would have heard the demo track for Stronger, where all it was the sample, and then he took it and gave it to Timberland, and Timberland made it into a hit, but yet it wasn't a hit without the sample, without the mindset of I'm going to make this song like this. Without that, this song wasn't going to be great. That's what makes Kanye amazing. He has great ideas on how he wants to compose music, and he doesn't stop at any level until he gets it to that point. Or at least he did. See, there came a point where Kanye became infatuated with himself, where now it's like, okay, I'm the best out here, so I'm going to produce it all. I'm going to make it all myself. I'm going to release it. Now, what Kanye is also amazing at is his promotion. He's also amazing at learning how to push and deliver quality promotion so that he can continue to push his superstardom up. Now, he's amazing at that. But music, nah. Like, did you guys see that Kanye executively produced every single song for some underground acts out of Chicago recently? Like, this happened like 3 weeks ago. He did a full production for some underground dudes. Did you even hear about it? Most people did not hear about that project at all, with good reason. And it's not because, well, one reason, he didn't help promote these underground acts, which could definitely have used it. But secondly, the music wasn't very good. And it's because he promoted it all. It's because he did it all himself. You feel me? Like, if he would just leave his ego to the side and go out there and get him a super producer that would love to work with him. Go get the Neptunes. Go get Timberland again. Go get Just Blaze. As some of his best stuff, Just Blaze did dabble a little bit on it. But I mean, go back to the underground and get you the musicians that you once had. You ain't got to get the same musicians that you had before, because a lot of them have moved on and they're now doing a bunch of bigger, better things. Or some of them might still be hungry enough, but they might have lost the creative juices. Go find you somebody straight out of high school, straight out of college that need a check. Somebody who's bad with the music, like at HBCU, where all they do is play music and do bands and stuff like that. Go to the schools. Go find you somebody who's hungry. Find that person. Put them on. Have them help you create your next sound. Instead, you are so focused on you being the great Kanye that you lost yourself. You lost what you're best at. You think that you're great at everything, but you're not. But because Drake understands this element, he understands that, A, I may not be able to write the best songs all the time, but I got a whole team behind me that's writing songs nonstop. Like, I can do Certified Lover Boy because I got DVSN, who are amazing songwriters, producers, who do R&B to the highest level. I can get them to help me do the entire album, and I don't feel the kind of way letting them get a percentage of it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He could get somebody to help him figure out the flows or the hooks that's necessary for a song to go and become the next great diss song. He has the ability to do that, and he doesn't have the ego to stand in the way of it happening. And that's why musically, Kanye stands no chance here. But just because, and honestly, he may understand musically he doesn't stand a chance here, which is why he's delving to these levels of, I'm just going to leak out your home address. I'm going to leak out conversations that I'm having with you and Pusha T and all of this, and I'm going to go all the low blows instead of trying to leave it into the music, because he knows he can't leave it on music. He can't leave it on wax. This has to be something deeper. He has to strike harder, because Drake got the audience too that's going to hold him up regardless. Even though Kanye, you have the audience too that's going to hold you up regardless. Like, unless one of y'all get a sweeping, crushing defeat, I think Kanye and Drake are going to still be super successful at the end of this. They're still going to be good. Now, the problem is they're going to be perceived in a different kind of way. The loser will be perceived in a messed up fashion for a moment, but everyone bounces back. Just like everybody is perceiving Drake to have lost to Pusha T because he announced to the world his kids and all of that stuff. Now, me, I still feel as though Drake's song was 10 times better than Pusha T's, but yet Pusha T just went for the jugular, and people care more about the pettiness nature and the harsh bars more than the actual music, which that's fair. That is what it is. But when you do that, you leave the door open for the next go round. Do you think Drake by any means is going to be do you think that he didn't find anything over all this time that has passed on Kanye that he's about to release? Kanye and Pusha T opened the door. You cannot dictate the clapback. You cannot dictate how an individual clap back at you. And Drake seemingly has been waiting. Drake seemingly got something. That's why he's responding to Kanye releasing his home address with just him laughing while he's riding in his Bentley. That comes off as a guy that got something for you, dog. Odds are, strong odds, Drake got something that Kanye is not going to be prepared for. And this is why Kanye is coming off a bit nervous. It's why Kanye's doing a whole bunch of extra. And there's nothing you can do about it now. Your project is already done. You need to hold off something. You need to hold off a super dope beat. And you already need to be knowing how you're going to write. You got to be prepared for it. But if Drake falls flat, then you just take him completely over. You feel me? Either way, all of this is going to happen in real time. And it should be happening sooner rather than later. But yet, y'all being some chumps about it. Somebody's going to have to take their medicine after this. And to be real with you, it's Kanye's turn. As Cass Ling 28 says, Yeezy got way more money than Drake. They about to be mad about Donda. It's not about money, bro. It is not about money. Regardless, and both of them are the upper 2% of what the music industry is. But I will say this. Jay-Z sold the masters to Kanye stuff to the white man. Let's not deny this. Now, I don't know what kind of situation that Drake is in, contractually speaking, but I know Kanye's masters got sold back to the record labels. Is he balling out like that? But again, it's not about the money. This is about payback. And Drake has the advantage right now to take advantage of the payback that he's been waiting on for some time, that he's the better musician, that he honestly probably got something deeper that he's ready to hit Kanye with. You feel me? Now, I hope that it doesn't go beyond music. But as I said at the beginning of this video, man, the chumps have money, and anybody with money can push a button on anybody anywhere. So you got to take it how you can take it. Ben says that Drake been sub-dissing since the Pusha T thing for years now. He's been plotting. Yes, he has been plotting. He's been preparing. He's been provoking. Let's not deny. He's been somewhat egging on Kanye to finally release something. He's ready. I don't think Kanye's ready. But I just want to see how it all ends. I want I'm excited for it, even though it's going to be a super long night because I would have to review both of these albums the same day or something. I don't know I don't know how I'll go about it, but it's going to be fun though. Like this could possibly be the height of what 2021 is all about until the fourth quarter when all of the super great music that people have been waiting on. Cass Ling says that I sound super biased. Nothing I'm saying is fact-based. Really? So are you saying true or false? Jay-Z sold Kanye's masters so that he can get his masters back. True or false? Cass? I'm waiting. As I've said, I don't even like Drake like that. Drake fans hate me just as much as Kanye fans. But you can't even answer the question. Look at you. You have no knowledge of what you're speaking of, but yet you want to question me. Facts, like like this guy Cass, he's trolling for Kanye. But here's just the reality. Kanye and Drake are on the same level in the music industry. Now, how much money they have, that's beyond any of us. We don't know how much money they got. We all just know that they are the top 2% of the game. And the pettier they become, the more they leave the door open for a guy like Kendrick Lamar, who just came out saying that he's going to drop an album. And it's his last album on TDE, in which, with that happening right in between this, all of y'all beef is beginning to be focused on him and helping him push forward. And that's facts, Ben. Ben says that he sold Kanye's masters instead of giving it to Ye, like how Michael Jackson did for Little Richie and James Brown, like a real individual would do. Somebody who respects you, somebody that you rock with, should want to give you back your masters, but that's not Jay-Z. Jay-Z, being the evil individual that he is, Cass says that, yeah, Jay sold him to buy back his own masters. So what that mean? What that means is you don't know how much money this individual, you want to brag about how much money Kanye has, but he doesn't even own the masters to all of his works. If you didn't know that he doesn't own the masters, how can you say you know how much money he got? No one knows how much money he got. And money is not where this battle is going to be determined. This battle is determined by the music, 1. 2, the arrogance. 2 and 3, the notoriety and the fans, and everybody's going to run with it. And we just going to see how it pans out. Like, this one is in the air. This one can go either way. And money has absolutely nothing to do with it. These are 2 evenly matched individuals. Like, honestly, I would like it if they did a versus together and they just released the new albums then, and it can squash the beef and all of this stuff, but they're too petty to even do that. Ben says that Kanye helped Jay-Z since the Blueprint. He was going to retire after Reasonable Doubt. Ye was also there for him even when Jay-Z didn't believe in him. Dame helped him get a rap chance. Jay is a snake. Facts. Like, here's the real deal. Like, Kanye, he fell for what everybody fell for. You feel me? Like, everybody who grew up on Jay-Z and the music, you want Jay-Z to be the legend. You want him to be the OG. You want him to be a person that looks out for you and propel the music industry to where it needs to be and help you in your career. That's what everybody wanted Jay-Z to be. But there's a reason why Jay-Z reached this point in the game. And it's because he's selfish. Everything that he did has always been about him. Forget everything else. Yeezy is not worth billions. They retracted that statement that he was a billionaire. But you didn't know that. Like his deal with Gap, they overblew what it actually was about. And if you haven't been watching the news, it seems to be somewhat falling apart because the CEO of Gap came out saying that this was never the right play for Kanye to begin with. But again, I'm not saying that Kanye is broke, but he doesn't have the amount of money that you think he has. But you want to pole jock this man because of whatever money. But this isn't even about money. None of this is about money. Like, this is really about him about to take an L. He got a strong chance of taking an L here. And it's going to be a harsh one. But he could end up coming out on top. He could actually win this. But strategically, how he's played it up to this point, he's going to have to release his music first. Because he was the first one to say that he's going to have a drop date. And then Drake has been plotting on this for years. And Drake has been proven that he's had better diss tracks than Kanye throughout his career. That's just where we at. Now, I just want an entertaining fight. I just want to see it all in. I want to see it in a positive manner, and I want to see somebody completely dominant. I want to see another Jadakiss moment. That's what I want to see. People, Ben says that people got to understand that the money that these artists make is split with others. Kanye got to split it with Kim and whoever else. Drake got Wayne, Birdman, Apple, that baby mama. Facts. Like, all of these rappers that people saying got all of this money, it's not as much as you think. Like, expenses add up. And you're going to have to like pay back the record labels and stuff too, man. Like, no one knows exactly how much an album Kanye West and Drake make. It's probably more than most. It's definitely more than most. But, and it's because they got streams, they get album sales, they get all of that ridiculous. But no one knows how much advance money they get. No one knows exactly how much money you get off of each album stream and sell going towards your advance money that you got to pay back. Then you got your expenses. You got that all of these mansions and stuff that they living in, all of these jewelries that you got to pay off. You got all of your women, your baby mamas. You got all of this that you got to pay off. All of this ultimately, you never know the bottom line of an individual. This is how individuals like MC Hammer, who was the most paid of a previous generation, can go bankrupt. This is how you got TLC, who made the biggest records of all time that will always get played. That's how they filed for bankruptcy. This has been seen through generation upon generation, and just because Drake and Kanye are at the top of it now doesn't mean that they signed particular deals that's better. Like, it has been proven. It has been proven that these top individuals only really get there because they had to come into the game signing 360 deals, and these 360 deals don't go away. Once you sign a 360 deal, It's almost like for life. They did that with the with 360 when the 360 deals came into play. They took the whole concept off of a reality TV show person. I forget her name, but she was on one of them not loving hip hop, but one of them earlier like reality shows. Now, what she did was she spun off of a reality show and was able to make multi-million dollars. Like she built her brand off of being popping on a reality show. And ever since that moment, they put a clause in all of the deals that whenever you get put on through us in reality shows, everything you do after this point that is related to your fame that we gave you, we get a percentage of. The music industry took this concept and ran with it. So therefore, all the artists that you see out there today, especially ones who are getting mass promotions, they all signed these kinds of deals because there's a billion rappers. There's a billion of other people out there. All of these people want to get a record deal. All of these people can be pushed by individuals. You feel me? Like, if you have an unlimited pool of people that want to get a record deal who sell off everything. What up, the Sector Radio? Yates, remember the Kendrick hate that you got on his reviews? Yes. Oh, yes. I still get hate messages off of those reviews today. And it is what it is. I mean, and I still stand by it. Like, when was the last time that you listened to Pimp a Butterfly? Because I listened to it not that long ago to see if, years later, am I still tripping? And no, I still feel the same way about To Pimp a Butterfly. Album wasn't very good. But, I mean, I respect that people like it. I respect that everybody like all of the projects that I dislike. And it's cool. Like, hey, man, we don't have to like the same music. It's fine. Enjoy what you do. But I'm never going to back down from my opinion when I do the work. When I go through and I study things. I actually break down and analyze the bars. I break down everything. I stand on what I say 100%. And I will tell you if I change my mind. There's been a bunch of projects in the past that I have gone back on, like, yo, this was actually not that bad. It is what it is. Now, Ben is saying that he liked those projects, but possibly he's wondering what Kendrick has for his last TDE album. And that's what's great about Kendrick. See, and honestly, that's what's great about this class of MC, because you do not know what any of them have to offer. You feel me? It's the unpredictable. Kanye's Donda album could end up being completely different than anything that he's been playing. I doubt it because they put way too much money in it. But the concept and everything that he's been doing with Donda, I haven't listened to any of the album album releases and all of that stuff. I haven't listened to any of the music, so I have no idea what the album is going to be like, and that's good. That builds up notoriety. No one knows what Drake's album is going to sound like, and then nobody knows what Kendrick's album is going to sound like either. Like, these guys are super creative. They do whatever it is they want on the music industry on the grandest scale. They're honestly the best that the game has to offer. And it's due to the creativity in the way that they go about tracks, which is dope. I hope that Kendrick's last album will be fire. I really hope that Kendrick's last TDE album could measure up to, say, what's it called? Section 80. Section 80 is still my favorite album from Kendrick Lamar still to this day. But Sector Radio says, my opinion, Lil Baby is the worst rapper in the game. What's your opinion? I don't think that he's the worst rapper. I mean, you got you got Tekashi Snitch 9. You got I think he's far better than Gunna. I think man, there's a lot of bad rappers out there, dude. Lil Baby is actually one of the better ones in my opinion, but the music industry as a whole is down right now because we're not getting the quality musicians to come out like we need them to be. But it's really because it's really because you have to fit into a specific mindset in order for record labels to sign you. They only sign the coons today. Point blank, period. Like anybody who actually has quality music, anybody who knows what they doing, if you don't fit into the coon mindset, then you're not going to get a deal. So therefore, they're chasing after individuals like you getting the next generation of rappers. You're getting Chet Hanks. You're getting man, there's too many to name, man. There's a lot of garbage that's out there. I think Lil Baby is better than most. But he's not amazing by no means. He's not a great punchline rapper. His flow isn't 100% on point. He just got notoriety and he stands on his. So I respect him. Casling28 says that the 360 is actually a good deal. Really? Really? You want to, okay, that just disqualifies you from this conversation, bro. So you feel as though if you want to release an album and that album doesn't even go gold, that album doesn't even do any numbers at all. Like you release an album under a major record label and you only sell 10,000 units, period. You feel as though that you should owe a record label for the rest of your life, huh? You think that that's okay? You think that it's okay to owe these people for the rest of your life off of one flopped album, even though you don't even do rap no more. Now you become an actor. You're more like 50 Cent and you own power. You're doing BMF. Did you guys see the BMF trailer as well? Joint look good. But you're doing BMF. You're doing all of these other shows, TV shows. But yet all of that money is going to your record deal, your 360 deal. Because you signed the 360 deal before you did any of this stuff that has nothing to do with your music. So therefore, you think a 360 deal is good. Wow. It's time for you to level up your knowledge, bruh. How old are you, Cass? Because your image looks like you're not young. Like, you are way too old to be making these stupid conversation points, bro. Like, you should have known, like, 10 years ago, the 360 deal wasn't nothing. That's embarrassing for you, bro. That's very embarrassing for you to try to come up in here and talk about that like you actually know what you're talking about. Bruh, I follow this. I study this. I've been doing videos and following the news for over 10 years and bringing it to the people. And you want to tell me that 360 deals are good? But all love though, I ain't mad at you. Like, I'm just saying, you making yourself look bad. Maybe you should shut up and launch something. Master P, the Sector Radio says Master P and Cash Money, the best deals ever that hip hop made. And that's facts. And you know why they got the best deals? Because they were established beforehand. They got 80%. I think it was 80 to 20%? Now, I mean, the deals, and they got the masters. Now, the deals rivaled, what's his name? Ray Charles. Ray Charles, who was in his prime, he decided to jump from Atlantic Records and got his masters, got promotion, got them people to go ahead and get him out of jail for all of his drug habits. Like, the deal rivals his deal. And there hasn't been deals like that consistently over these years, bruh. They never give out those deals until you back them into a corner, and they have to. But I stayed on this longer than I had time, fellas. I gotta go ahead, kick it with the family, but it was great talking to everybody, even you, Cash. It's just, you need to learn. You need to put some time in and learn the game instead of just talking ridiculous about things that you have no idea about. But everybody out there, man, I'll probably be back a little later on tonight, man, and run some Street Fighter matches if you guys want to check it out. I've been on a bit of a losing streak, but it is what it is. I'm going to try to bounce back. Y'all be good.